Holy crap, I still gotta wait for this thing to work? Yikes. Oh, well, here we go. Hi guys, what's going on? It's 8:31 at night, West Coast time. Still the 1st of February 2024. It's Thursday night. So what am I doing? Well, besides binge watching on 911 on streaming services and going through a lot of emotional issues at this point, usually throws me for a loop. I had tried to resist the urge as much as I can, but wading into the sewer sea of politics that we have for today, there's not enough soap or shampoo to get the stench off of my skin after going skinny dipping in some of this crap. That's to put it nicely. Okay, address to Jesse Dollamore. Well, this is going to be addressed to a lot of people that I'm going to be tagging up left and right, so I'll let them have fun with this one. So, to you, Jess Man, what's up? Yeah, Roseman, California calls. So, yes, I'm not doing the phone. I'm just doing the video. I'm going to send one over to you as soon as I get your email address. Oh, don't you love Texas Lieutenant Governor and also the regular governor? They don't know what the hell they're doing at the time, and they think that maybe, possibly, that they're going to be depending more than just the Bible to protect their ass on this one. Now, he was mentioning about Article 1, Section 10, and then Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution. So, I gotta get in their character in this one here. Give me a second. I'm doing this on the shoe fly. Oh yeah, hey, what's going on, artist in recovery, Daryl? How you doing? And the Young Turks and Brian Cohen and the Majority Report and the Minority Report and the Watch List and everybody else out there that I'll be tagging up left and right. Okay. We, the people of the United States, in order to make this union actually work, we must abide by the U.S. Constitution of the United States as the first and foremost authority in our government at this point over here. For score and too many damn minutes ago, we had come across one particular video from Mr. Jesse Dallamore, who was producing a couple of interviews regarding the so-called Texas government leaders, primarily the lieutenant governor of insanity. He was talking about the Article 4 and Article 1. Now, going into Article 4, he was referring to Section 4, in which it says, the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government, comma, and shall protect each of them against invasion, semicolon, and on application of the legislature, comma, or of the executive, bracket, when the legislature cannot be convened, another bracket, against domestic violence, period. Basically, when he's going to try putting up this one into the court systems, particularly their state Supreme Court, not to mention going all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, if they so choose and incline to follow any such ruling. Because apparently they hadn't. So it makes me question, do they actually understand the legal process, or do they care? Or are they just doing this for political grandstanding? I think it's the latter. So their part of Section 4 is what's going to be part of the application process if they send over to the court systems for them to argue about. The United States, which means we're talking about the federal government. We are talking about the United States government. We are talking about federal, highest level, not the states, but the federal. To every state in this union, a Republican form of government. And that's not the section he was looking for. And shall protect each of them against invasion. The United States shall guarantee and also shall protect, I'm just paraphrasing here, each of them against invasion. Now keep this in mind. We got the southern border situation happening of immigrants coming over, which is the reason why we have immigration services out there trying to assist on this so-called invasion. However, we have the state governments decided it's an invasion. They're enemies. We have to defend ourselves because they're bringing in weapons. They're bringing in artillery. They're bringing in something to harm us. They are invaders. We must protect ourselves from the invaders. Not if they're refugees. Refugees are now considered an invasion by Texas, by the state legislature, by the state government, basically by Texas itself, including its denizens, its citizens who voted in these idiots. Again, I always blame voters because they're the dumbest. In our democracy, in our representative democracy here, we always have a problem trying to identify ourselves. We're a constitutional republic, which means we have representative government. But we have to vote, which means it's a form of democracy. Voting is democracy. So we always have this confused all the time, and even having arguments with history professors and political science professors out there. What the hell are we? We're supposed to be the United States of America. Well, I'm sorry, we don't recognize that anymore. We're the conflicted states. We're not united, we're conflicted states of America. Going back to Article 1, Section 10 now, or going to it. And it's a long one, so. Okay. It has 3 sections, or actually 3 paragraphs in Section 10. The first portion deals with no state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill or of a tender, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. You got that? Paragraph 2. No state shall, without the consent of the Congress, no matter how conflicted we are, lay any imposts or duties on imports or exports, except what may be absolutely necessary for executing its inspection laws, and the net produce of all duties and imposts laid by any state on imports or exports shall be for the use of the Treasury of the United States, and all such laws shall be subject to the revision and control of the Congress, which means these guys have to keep updating this stuff. Right. Now, here comes the one I think the Lieutenant Governor was trying to make hay on this one. Third paragraph. No state shall, without the consent of Congress, yeah, right, lay any duty of tonnage, keep troops or ships of war in time of peace, enter any agreement or compact with another state, or with a foreign power, or engage in war, unless actually invaded or in such imminent danger as will not admit of delay. Okay. In this section of the last of the paragraph here, this is what they're going to go for. We're making the notation that we are in dire threat. We have been invaded. Therefore, we must protect the state. It is up to the it is up to Congress. It is up to the executive branch. It is up to the military. Is that up to the state? Unfortunately, they think they're in danger. Now, granted, we do have sanctuary cities produced because we didn't want to have any problems concerning about the immigration situations happening over the past decade or half or more than that. And yes, we did have cities going against the last administration because they didn't believe that they could. It's like ICE agents would come to your home and take you out, even though you may produce documentation that you are what you are, who you are, and a citizen of this country. Assuming, of course, that you are a citizen of the country and assuming that you are probably equitable to being a citizen of the country in one way or another, as the conservative networks keep trying to produce and keep trying to state. Or even a lieutenant governor that wants that particular type of invader to come on in. If you're not rich, you're not white, you're not privileged, screw you. If you're poor, get out of here. That's how it is. That's how it is. I'm making it clear. Besides hearing it from the independent networks at this point over here, not to mention the corporate media still trying to get into it, the damn thing, this is what's happening right now. Again, I had said it before, and I'll still say it again. We are in a civil war right now. We are using the court systems left and right, and if people will actually listen to the court systems or even try to appeal it up to the Supreme Court, are they going to be able to obey, even though they may disagree with the living crap out of it? But are they going to? Whatever the decision is going to be. Are they going to be obeying the U.S. Constitution that the peace officers and the military has sworn? Will they? Are the peace officers going to be firing upon each other, both for trying to support the Constitution, but for someone's demagoguery, but not for the United States? But they're going to say it's in the form of the United States. They're just going to say that it's a woke cabinet, and now we've got a problem because it's still the same government we have. Elected officials coming in there because of voters. And we had an elected official trying to abscond with the power and deluding himself that he's got more power than the Constitution because his ego will demand more. So now we've got this going on. Power corrupts absolute power corrupts absolutely. Somewhere in there. So if you got a lot of power elected by the state and you're in office because the voters told you to get in there and stay in there, isn't it your constitutional job to serve the state, but also the Constitution of the United States guarantee that people actually do have rights when they come into the country? Citizens, yes. But if you're undocumented, you still have some kind of due process to go through. But apparently some people don't even look at that. So if we actually had this a long time ago, how were we compared to a long time ago? A particular time period on how we're supposed to be looking at things? I don't get what they're doing at all. I really don't get it. I can reread the Constitution left and right, and it is for interpretation. But it still depends upon the power of Congress because they are the legislative branch, the Senate and the House. And if both are divided, both need to find compromises, and if they can't, then we really do have a dysfunctional government. But because the government is set up this way, they're supposed to find their way to make compromises in order for the government to work. But if it's so damn polarized right now, I don't think even the founding fathers had actually understood this damn thing, except for maybe for the 14th Amendment that got passed a long time ago. Or the 25th article. So now we get the 25th article being implied towards cabinet members of the Congress. Not of Congress, but of the executive branch. In order to gain power of some sort. Playing hate games with people when we should have laws and bills passed to fund functions of our government and for other things that we need to have working. Treaties to be worked with. Emergency relief. Debts that we owe. But we don't do that. We're not going to do that because we're the United States and we don't uphold our debts anymore. Apparently, we have chosen not to do so. No, we're definitely not. We had a con man in office that's still pulling the wool over people's eyes left and right. He's still crying wolf when the wolf had already been coming and already eaten up the sheep. But now he's doing it for kicks. That's the number 45th gas bag that we actually had in the office. And raking up fortunes, and now he's shelling it out because of people he's harmed in office and now mostly out of office. People who want to make their dotage to him, that they want to obey and worship him, now pull out the Holy Bible as justification. We have elected leaders in the executive branch are considered the apocalypse now. Because the governor actually made his political bones on this one. Actually, the lieutenant governor. And he thinks he is the protector of Texas or all the conservatives out there. Now he's going to make this into a holy crusade? Is that what he's trying to do in our country? And again, the Texas people are silent. There are no protests out there. They're all complicit. I said all of them. If there's only one protester out there with a sign, at least he's not complicit. If he's trying to tell the state government that they are fools and they are not what they claim to be, I assume Texas is also taking the right of having the Constitution being obeyed in the country, or actually in their state, and just only have the Bible and judge it on Sharia law. We have American Sharia law, boys and girls. It's in every damn state, apparently, for whoever obeys the Bible above the U.S. Constitution. Now, somewhere in the New Testament, I'm probably not hip on it, but if I am, there would have been a section in there of Christ trying to tell the people, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar, render unto God which is God. Your body may be the Caesar's property, but your soul belongs to God. You owe the taxes to Caesar. But your worth and what your actions do and what your words are more worth upstairs. But unfortunately, I guess we have people who can't interpret it. Now, you're probably going to be asking me, am I of worth of anything? Am I a lettered academia? Am I of the scholarly? Am I of the, whatever the hell we call them these days? Surely not wraith worshippers. No, that's not it. We don't have any wraith out here, do we? We're not dealing with Stargate SG-1 stuff, are we? Or Atlantis? Science fiction? Oh, are we belonging to some kind of weird-ass cult following at this point? No. So what's Christianity considered? Protestant? Could be. So, trying to follow the so-called Christianity. But which version? You see, there are many versions out there, and some of them actually call them white Christians, or white nationalists, or Christian nationalists out there, trying to distinguish that they are above. Really. So somewhere in the Bible also, I guess when Christ was trying to do the Sermon of the Mount, he was also trying to tell us about all them damn snake assholes out there. The ones who keep worshiping the snake very much. We're not just talking about the slithering creature on the ground, but a representation that the guys speak with, or the people speak with forked tongue and bite you when you least expect it, infect you with their poison. Maybe that was a representation in the Bible that we all had to face and worry about in the Old Testament. That's something with that much cunning and guile that you had to watch out for. But unfortunately, we're too stupid. Therefore, I blame the voters. I blame the voters because they're too damn stupid to know any better. I thought they had actually common sense, but they don't. I lost that a long time ago. So now we have this going on. We have a state that's calling up all the reserves they can from the Confederacies, from the old guard and also the new guard, to pretend that we have this civil war going to be starting up again. We're going to be waiting for the first shot to be fired. But only if it's probably coming from one side or the other, which give everybody else an excuse to fire on each other, and therefore causing bodily and constitutional harm. Because we have federalized troops trying to fight upon each other. Now, if it's a federalized, it would be the current administration to control all the militia that is possibly can, under the control of the executive branch. And they're supposed to be the commander in chief of those kind of forces. That would mean also the state National Guard or the state guard. Now, if the state guard are really going to be into killing a fellow federal officer, even though they swore an oath to the Constitution of the United States. So I take it the great state of Texas is going to be well above the Constitution of the United States against the federal government itself. Again, I blame the voters. Because they're the one that voted in the assholes. They wanted the guns more often than civilian lives, innocent civilian lives. But they worry about this invasion coming across the border, so now you got these nut jobs who are posting left and right that the independent people out there are picking up and posting on social media left and right, including YouTube and Google. And a few other platforms out there. Trying to make our attention aware that we've got these nut jobs going to the borders, or actually to the Texas border. They want this fear and paranoia to go on. They want the power. Do they actually want the bloodshed? Do they actually want the firepower? Do they actually want to see people killing each other? For what? For what? They want to protect the border. From what? We want to protect it from fentanyl. We have the necessary people to do that. We screen them. We screen everybody that comes across. We turn them back if we have to. We have to have federal and state laws for this. But enforcement of trying to shred people at the water and not care about their wounds or anything else? Violation of human rights? But that doesn't matter either. Does the state have the right to declare war on another country or other people? Because now we're breaking federal laws somewhere, if not the Constitution. They say they have the right to defend the invaders. Who are the invaders? Who are they listing? What specifically? And are they going to be racially profiling everybody? Sounds like they are. So now they got to look towards their own state. You're going to be doing that to your own countrymen, to your own folks that are in state. Are you going to do that too? Sounds like you are. You guys are freaking out about Taylor Swift. You're freaking out about Elmo, a singer and a damn puppet from the Muppets, or actually from Sesame Street. Is this helping out? And if that doesn't cover it, as I said something about the Bible at this point, Lieutenant Governor of Texas, the one who can't get his act together, was trying to quote something from the Bible concerning about the four horsemen. I don't think he actually got the right chapter for the damn thing, but all of it is dealing with something that's happening, or theoretically would be happening. And apparently, we have too much fear in this particular section here because we think it's going to be the end of the world. Well, let me tell you something. We actually had the end of the world several dozen times, or actually a million times, and we're still here. We're still here. Politics, talking to people left and right, trying to keep the militaries from going on full alert, on DEFCON 1 on each other. We faced it too many damn times. The things I'm more worried about is a damn asteroid hitting the Earth, and then what are we going to be doing? Well, we start pointing the fingers at each other, and I blame the voters for that one. Yeah, I will be. Because you voted in stupid people. Stupid people voting in stupid people. And I'm labeling it. There's not enough money I have to go around to pay off everybody. Maybe a single cent, and I'm still not going to be that way. I'll be broke until the day I die. Then afterwards, they can't get any money out of a damn corpse, now can they? I'll say this about every damn red state we got out there who still thinks that they are covered under God at this point. Our hearts and souls may belong to God at this point over here, but our asses still belong to the laws. That's how it is. That's why Christ had kept saying, concerning about render unto Caesar that which is Caesar. What was Caesar during the time of the ancients? What the hell was he? The Romans considered him a god. Are you kidding? Power kept changing hands in the Roman Empire for centuries. People are stupid because they don't learn history, either by choice or by something else. They don't bother to study human history to see how the hell we got our situations over here, but they'll accept the Bible as gospel. Why? Because they're stupid. If God wanted us to have laws, why was He giving us the words to create the laws necessary to govern our country? Unless, of course, our country was not supposed to be, and we're not supposed to have the Constitution of the United States. We're not supposed to have any states. We're just a bunch of thugs going into different lands, invading people left and right, and telling them to go screw themselves. But in the process, we're screwing ourselves in the process. How does that grab you? I blame humanity. It's all right. We can't learn. So, we might as well reap it. And reap it hard. Because we don't know what the hell we're doing anymore. We think we're going to be following our gospels, our religious doctrines left and right. We think we're going to be so sanctimonious, we're going to be sanctified one way or another. We're killing each other in the name of religion. How do we know this? History tells us. Doesn't matter what the hell you were worshiping at which particular time, it was still a religion. You're going to be asking me what I worship. Well, I worship God. I worship Jesus. But the thing is, I'm not declared in front of everybody else. But that should matter to people if I declare it to them. I'm ashamed to be called a Christian because I don't know what Christianity is anymore in this day and age, in this society we call. I don't know who the hell you guys are anymore. I know what I was taught a long time ago, and I still have my old Bible that I still have. I can go online and see the revised versions of the damn thing. Or the old text if I can. And if Christ were here, I think he'd be bitch slapping us left and right. Or actually shaking his head in pure disgust. Of all the stuff he has taught us, we had failed every single one of them. No wonder there have been stories in there that when it comes time, it's probably going to be talked about the rapture and the Revelations at this point, where we're going to be separated from sheep to goats. We will know. We will be known because the book of life will judge us so. What we have sown, we're reaping. And if we happen to sow with good seed in good ground, we will have a crop. We will have harvest. If we sow it in bad ground, we're going to get weeds out of the damn thing. I'm not hip on the verses. I never, well, not some of them anyway. I mean, there's a lot of them in there, but I wasn't that much paying attention when I was growing up. Except there are certain passages in there that I held close to my heart in my youth, in my temperate youth. I tried to understand the gist of what they were talking about. I'll come back to it from time to time to understand. Even some of those who kept persecuting Christ were shown a different way. Chronicles of Paul, or shall we say Chronicles of Saul. So we're going to talk about biblical at this point. This one man who was in pursuit, he wanted to persecute everybody who followed Christ because he didn't understand him, he didn't believe him, and he thought he was screwed up. So in the name of the Roman Empire, he was going to be persecuting and prosecuting, judging and condemning, judge, jury, and executioner. He put it upon himself to be that way. But apparently, Christ had other ideas. There was a point in his journey that Saul became blind because it was shown a lot of things. And one of them was which mistakes he's made by the presence of the Christ. Sometimes I wish I was him. But the problem is there was a hell of a lot of anger and vitriol, and I don't think I could deal with that. And I sure as hell don't. After what I've been witnessing these days from a lot of people, I'm wondering, are we even worth it to do such a thing to ourselves and to others? I was growing up as a kid. I didn't look at school or books in one particular form or fashion, but I loved reading, though. Reading different things. I wanted to fill my head with a hell of a lot of notions and stuff. I wanted to be a writer. Unfortunately, I don't know what's keeping me from that one. But I didn't take school seriously enough, and I wish I had. But to me, it was like cookie cutter. You learn the crap, and they kick your ass out. Here comes another batch. College was supposed to be voluntary when you go in to challenge yourself one way or another. I didn't take the challenge seriously enough, and I wasted 2 years of it, and then 30 plus years of working my ass off and damn near getting killed. Now I see the rest of the world in a different eyes at this point over here, as my videos keep showing to people left and right. Maybe in one way I have turned from Saul to Paul. Maybe in one form or fashion. An advocate. I still call myself the fool and idiot. Maybe I am. But I'm seeing everybody else puffing up their chest left and right, and I thought I had a pride and ego problem. I'm reminded of that constantly. People have also shown me that of myself. And again, I'm the fool and idiot. I am. And I always will be. I'm also a mourner, griever, a follower. But I stay in the course I am. I am what I am. And I don't care if people like it or not. That's on them. That's not me. I'm still struggling with what I think and believe and feel. But at least I know what I'm struggling for is right. But for me to shove it down people's throats left and right and saying, you will follow this one, otherwise there will be consequences, well then, on you. My door is there. You want to talk, talk. You want to comment, comment. You want to bitch and bellyache, go for it. It doesn't mean I'm going to follow your suit. It doesn't mean I'm going to be following you, period. It just means you're going to be a hater, or you're going to be a bellyacre, or maybe you're something else. Hopefully something else that maybe you got your eyes open and now you got to learn for stuff. Maybe you can find the different areas that we can find common grounds. But if you're still stuck on stupid, I ain't going to change your ass. It's not my job. Somebody else's job. I'm just an unofficial advocate.